This video is brought to you by MagicJank.com, the spiciest cards for your sauciest decks. Buy and sell Magic the Gathering products and gear today on MagicJank.com. What is up, Janksters? It's your boy Graham, also known as HamHawks42 on the internet, and today we have a fun deck to take a look at, and that is leveraging Vesuvan Drifter. Man, I said that awkwardly twice. Anyway, Vesuvan Drifter, super fun card. It is a 2/4 for 3, 2 and a blue with flying. Look at the top card of your library anytime, which is an effect I really like. Being able to see what's coming is just nice. At the beginning of each combat, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, Vesuvan Drifter becomes a copy of that card until end of turn, except it has flying. So the goal of this deck is to have something big and scary on the top of our library so that the Vesuvan Drifter can become that into combat and then get some advantage. Now, we have a lot of different options for that. You'll notice too that it doesn't really leverage any ETBs because this creature becomes that creature. It doesn't enter the battlefield. It was already here. So leveraging things like Atraxa or Atali, which are kind of the big bads right now in Standard, don't really fire super well. Like, they just don't quite do enough. Granted, showing Atraxa especially is, you know, sure, you get Vigilance, Flying, Lifelink, Death Touch. Like, it's great, but you don't get all the cards, which is really what where Atraxa shines. So we have a couple of other options, a couple of other cards that we're leveraging as our big dumb monsters that we're trying to get onto the top of our deck. Most notably, we have Cityscape Leveler. Cityscape Leveler is an attack trigger or a cast trigger. As a result, if Vesuvan Drifter becomes a Cityscape Leveler, we now have an 8/8 Frampler, and when it attacks, which is also an artifact creature, by the way, so your opponent can't hit it with Go for the Throat. It feels real good. But when Cityscape Leveler attacks, you get to blow something up. So you get that attack trigger even if it's the Vesuvan Drifter. So great. Like, that's just pure value. It fits perfectly into what we're doing. We also have the Phyrexian Fleshgorger here because this is a 7/5 lifelink menace, which would also have flying again if the Drifter shows hits it. But because it has prototype, we could also play it as just a 3/3 that our opponent has to respect and deal with. So that's just nice. Honestly, the Fleshgorger itself, as the 3-drop, could just win a game if our opponent doesn't have an answer for it. So kind of forces them to use up some of the removal on this, hopefully, and then the Drifter can do its thing. We also have Toxrill the Corrosive, which is one of my favorite big dumb monsters that's legal and standard right now, and this gives me an excuse to run it. Makes me very happy. So the way that it works, the Drifter is the creature until end of turn. So at the beginning of the end step, the Drifter is Toxrill, and as a result, it does slime everything. And if that's enough to kill any of those creatures become, we get the slugs. Now, at the beginning of our next turn, or once we pass the turn, the cleanup step, I believe, but in that moment, when it becomes our opponent's turn, the Drifter is back to being the Drifter, meaning our opponent's things are all slimed, but Toxrill's static ability of giving all things with slime counters -1, -1 is no longer on the field. And so as a result, those creatures are still a decent size. However, things get really interesting if Toxrill's still on the top of our deck, which presumably it will be. When our opponent goes to their combat step, the Vesuvan Drifter can turn back into Toxrill, assuming it's still alive, which is not a given at this point, but assuming it is. We get Toxrill back, that static ability is now back, and then when we go to that end step, again, assuming it's still here, we put another slime counter on everything. So against decks that are going wide, Toxrill and the Drifter can really pop off and do this, like, super crazy board wipe out of nowhere, and it gives us an army of slugs, which is just great. Who doesn't love an army of slugs? So I don't know, that card is fantastic. I put 2 in the main. You'll also notice that I also have 2 in the sideboard. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be playing some best of 1, but I do have a full sideboard. I want to make a couple of key callouts. We have Dreams of Steel and Oil and Duress. Hand Hate is really important to knock our opponent off their early game. Being able to know, like, which ones are going to be most impactful really helps. What do we pull in for games 2 and 3? Dreams of Steel and Oil, by the way, is also shockingly underrated. This thing hits Haughty Djinn, it hits Atraxa, and it exiles them. It doesn't just discard them. Hits Atali, all that jazz. Sheoldred, you name it. Like, it's a very potent card. It's really good. So that's probably worth putting in your sideboards. Hearse is also here to deal with mono blue decks. Disdainful Stroke, if you're running blue in any of your decks in Standard right now, highly consider this. Hits Sheoldred, hits Atraxa, hits Evasion of Zendikar, hits Breach the Multiverse. It's a lot right now. Highly recommend. We also have Glistening Deluge to deal with those go-wide decks and a 4th Cityscape Leveler in the side. If it's good, we want more. That's simple. All right. So the other key pieces that we also have Kaito Shizuki and Tainted Indulgence. These are here strictly to just churn through more cards. We need to see more cards. We need to find our Drifter, mobilize it. That's really important. And also hit our early interaction to knock our opponent off their game plan. That early interaction includes Make Disappear, Go for the Throat, Fading Hope, and Cut Down. These are all cheap, reasonable ways to get in, knock our opponent off their game plan so they don't kill us before we have an opportunity to set up what we're doing. So those are really valuable. We also have Otherworldly Gaze. This is a no-brainer for of. It is going to smooth out our draws like crazy. It also fills up our graveyard, which may not be relevant, but you never know. But more importantly, it makes sure that we draw what we need, and if we have a Drifter live, being able to hit the Otherworldly Gaze either out of our hand or flashed back from our graveyard, it allows us to have some manipulation over the top of our deck. And so what we can do, if we have a Drifter going, if we have a Cityscape Leveler or a Fleshgorger or Toxrill on the top of our deck, what we can do is, go to combat, have the Drifter transform, and then hit the Otherworldly Gaze by the end of our turn, end of our opponent's turn, prior to drawing the next card. And we can use the Otherworldly Gaze to tuck that Cityscape Leveler or Toxrill or Fleshgorger down one more card, meaning it will remain on the top of our deck even after we draw. And as a result, the Drifter can continue to turn into it. So that's a really fun sequence. If you can set up like a Fleshgorger on the top of your deck and just basically use Otherworldly Gaze to keep it there for a long, for turn after turn, it is really strong. So that's fun. If we can set that up, sweet. And you'll also notice we have another fun card in here in Runo Stromkirk. This is a one of. Now, this card is bad. Period. End of discussion. It is. It's a bad card. However, it does do something that we desperately need. Now, flipping this into Crothis, Lord of the Deep, is like the last thing on our mind. It's probably not going to happen. If it does, neat, but that's not really the point. The main point is the front phase. When Runo Stromkirk enters the battlefield, put up to one target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card. If that creature is mana value 6 or greater, flip it. Okay, cool. But loading the top of our deck, this is a 3-drop that takes one of these big creatures from our graveyard, puts it on top of our deck to let the Vesuvan Drifter pop off. That's the idea. That's the hope. So we'll see if we can make it work. We also have Invasion of Amonkhet in here. Because we have so many large creatures in the deck, we're probably going to end up discarding them at some point throughout the course of the game through Tainted Indulgence or Kaito. Invasion of Amonkhet, the Lazotep Convert, gives us a way to pull them back onto the battlefield as a 4/4, which in the case of Toxrill or the Leveler especially, 4/4 is fine. It'll do the job. It gives us the abilities we want. Great. It'll do the thing. So those are pretty solid. And honestly, the Invasion of Amonkhet as a 3-drop that just your opponent discards a card and you draw a card, that's just good. And then the Invasion itself, if you can flip it, is also just additional upside. So honestly, the card is just strong. Honestly, it should probably be more than a 2 of in the list now that I think about it. So if you're gonna download this list and experiment with it, tinker with bumping that up a little bit, because I think that card is really freaking good. Anyway, that is the deck in a bit of a nutshell. It's Demir. It's doing the thing. Let's jump out onto the ladder with a couple best of 1 games and see if we can string some wins together. This hand looks really solid. We have Make Disappear and Go for the Throat on 2 with an Otherworldly Gaze loaded to make sure our first couple of draws are pretty solid. This looks great. I am into it. Let's go. All right. Ooh, up on the Concealing Curtains plan. Interesting. All right, we're gonna hit the Otherworldly Gaze. Darkslick Shores is nice. The other Otherworldly Gaze can go to the graveyard, methinks. You know what? Actually, I'm thinking Tainted Indulgence can go on top, because we're gonna hit our land drops no matter what, and the Darkslick Shores will be entering untapped even next turn. So we have the Tainted Indulgence. They don't give us something to counter. Training Grounds with the Concealed Curtains. That's pretty good. I have a sneaking suspicion this Training Grounds is trying to enable a lot. I don't want to let them have that. That is a pretty strong build around. I am going to assume they have built around it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and rock out a ninja. So we have our planeswalker on board. It feels good, man. So they have another training grounds. Dang it. All right. Ooh, captive weird. Okay. Very weird. How bizarre and whatnot. All right. So yeah, the revealing eye hits. Go for the throat is for sure going. No question. It's kind of gotta, you know. All right. We got the lands. I'm gonna play the land that they know about. Generally the smart play. I'm gonna attack here. Pop it pops. Now, do we hit the Otherworldly Gaze first, or do we just draw? I think we just draw. The Otherworldly Gaze might be valuable later. Ooh, we got a Fleshgorger. That's pretty sick. I like that. I think we just rock it out. Give him something to chew on here. Now, the Revealing Eye has Menace, so Kaito's probably gonna eat it here. So be it. Homie did his job. The third training grounds. Interesting. Okay. Them drawing that many training grounds means they're not drawing as many payoffs for said training grounds, so that's something, I suppose. All right. Completed Conjurer. Into a Surge Engine. All right. Wow. All right. Yeah, how about you got it? Woof. Hey, go for the throat. I don't need any more lands. They can go. I'm gonna let those hit Dubrix. I'm then gonna proceed to do this. Let's go ahead and just punch a bunch. Unfortunately, the Go for the Throat cannot hit the Surge Engine. It can hit the Completed Conjurer, although at this point it's just a vanilla 3/3. So the Revealing Eye is the better target of the two. Omen Hawker, okay. Got a Manadoric. And another Surge Engine. Doggone it. All right. That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Despite being just an eyeball with some tentacles, I'm gonna go for this Revealing Eye's throat. Apparently, it has a throat. Who knew? All right. More lands. You'll love to see it, I guess. All right. Vesuvan Drifter. In on or around the house. They have 1 mana back, and there's a pause. Well, they can activate the Surge Engine. That's why. Okay. Let us gaze in an otherworldly fashion. Hey, Toxrill, what up, dog? You're nice. I like you. My opponent's not gonna like you, but I like you, and that's what counts. All right. So now we go to combat, and you best believe this Vesuvan Drifter is becoming a Toxrill. Yeah, buddy. Let's go. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep my Fleshgorger back to deal with the Conjurer. I could attack and trade with one of their Surge Engines, but it'll be fine. Alright, so Omen Hawker eats it here. We get a slug. And now everything's been slimed. So we go to combat on their turn. We get to be Toxrill again. They need to invest some mana in the Surge Engines or they're toast. So, yeah, this one's gonna get rough. I don't like this. I don't like this. Yep. Everybody gets slimed. Feels good. And I put the stop on the upkeep. That way, before we draw, we can just keep moving Toxrill down, which is pretty fun. It's the kind of dumb nonsense I really enjoy. Cool. We took out one of the engines. Got another slug. On upkeep, we gaze into the other world once more. Nope. What am I doing? Ah, there we go. Toxie's got to stay. Toxie's got to stay. There you go. This is kind of gross, and I kind of love it. All right. Sending in the full squad because we can. Yeah. Got him. We're gonna have to go for the third on 2 into a Gorger or Kaito or Amonkhet all on 3. So this looks potentially decent. Epicure, okay. Is this a full-on mono red rush scenario? Darkslick Shores are welcome here. We're gonna be able to hit that go for the throat. For Felden, yeah, that's gravy, baby. That's exactly what we're looking for. All right, cool. Excellent. Ooh, and we got a Drifter. Now, normally, like, bottom line, I want the Fleshgorger to stick. I want the Fleshgorger to drop and stick around. So I'm gonna play. Oh, I'm not gonna reveal that yet because it's not gonna make a difference just yet. But the fact that this Vesuvan Drifter can become an 8/8 in flying, they need to kill it right now. Otherwise, they're not gonna get through it. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to really capitalize on that being my top deck right now. But yeah, I mean, good luck getting through that, homie. Yeah. You have kind of a brick wall. You want to smash one of your 1/1s against that? Yeah, that's what I thought. I know I would not be super keen on that myself. All right. Let's throw the Underground River. Let's throw the Invasion. And let's see what gets milled, what gets dropped, any of those things. We got Runo, nice. All right. That's not what I meant. What is in the graveyard? We got a fat load of nothing. They got a Swift Spear and a Felden. Oh no, we just put a Squee in their yard. Doggone it. Honestly, I'm just gonna sit back. Yeah, that Squee's a bummer. I don't like that they have that. Not much I can do about it though. Yeah, the invasion of Amonkhet kind of teed it up. Oh well. Squee! Oh, they had one in hand anyway. Alright, cool. Going to combat. Drifter can't become anything. Squee crashing on in. Definitely going to get blocked. Because that's the thing. Even in its normal form, the Drifter's still a 2/4. So they have to play with fire. Okay, so this is a clean 2-for-1 on our Drifter. Bummer that she's gone, but I'd say it was worth it in the end. This is where we rock out the Phyrexian Fleshgorger, get a lifelinker online. Feels pretty good. Yes, I'm willing to take one from our pain land for that. 3/3 lifelinker. Lifelink is usually mono red's kind of worst enemy, so feels good to hit it. And we have the Runo, so if they do, well, okay, no, we're good. Sorry, the etchings of Kumano, once it's on the back phase, when our creatures die, they go to exile instead of going to our graveyard, which is a huge problem. We definitely don't want that here. But yeah, they're not gonna give me my lifelink. Fair, I wouldn't either. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and crash in here. If you're not gonna give me my lifelink opponent, I'm gonna take it. Let's go. Pop into a Kaito Shizuki. We get to draw a card, just free card. I like free cards. They make me happy. Alright. Homie's gonna peace out. Now we have the Tainted Indulgence. We also have the Otherworldly Gaze. I'm feeling like Tainted Indulgence here. Yeah. I feel like that's the way to go. Not confident. But it seems like the right thing to do. Squeeze! Back again. Tell a friend. Yeah, I'll go for it. Yes, I take one. I know. It's okay. As Shia LaBeouf would say, just do it. All right. We could put Toxrill in the yard. Let's see. We have 5 already. Yeah, I think I want to discard the Leveler. Because we're almost ready to hardcast Toxrill. And honestly, if they don't leave enough blockers back for the Fleshgorger, we can uptick Kaito pre-combat, dump Toxrill, hit the Invasion of Amonkhet, and get the have the Lazartep homie come in as a copy of Toxie. So, play with fire, you say? Okay. Fair enough. Shipwreck Marsh, D's. It is D's. So I might as well play that. I'm really conflicted here. Because if our opponent doesn't see how this works, we could blow them out this turn. You know what? I'm going to go for it. All right. That cut down guarantees we get it. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, I couldn't have drawn it up better. All right, so we cut down the one blocker. We now have a menace creature. Truly being a menace. Gonna swing on in. Gain us 3 life. Get the Lazotep convert, which now becomes Toxrill. I'm then going to Runo and take Toxrill and put it on top of my deck. So we kind of got the best of both worlds. We got a 4/4 Toxrill online. We're now getting a whole bunch of slugs, and next turn we're gonna flip Runo and have actual Toxrill in our hand, so if they can deal with the 4/4, we have the real thing next turn. That was sick. That felt great, not gonna lie. Let's go. Well, we have all the 3 drops we could possibly want. Just our pick of them. It's usually not ideal, to be sure. Drawing anything that we could play earlier would be nice. But here we are. We're against Gruul. I'm gonna lead with Kaito. Get a ninja. Because you gotta get ninjas. Alright. Ah, they're on Naya, my bad. We were talking about Gruul. Clearly, I don't get it. I clearly am mistaken. Alright. Ooh, make disappear. That ain't bad. We'll go ahead and punch face a little bit. Pop. Draw a card. I like drawing cards. Darkslick Shores, that is unfortunate, but that's okay. At this point, I kind of want to keep the make disappear up, which is, like, a little bit of a bummer, but if they hit an Invasion of Zendikar card here, the rest of their deck just completely turbocharges. So we just need to be able to stop it. There it is, yeah. That's one of the nice things about running counterspells in a meta that is fairly predictable. You know when to hit them. Feels real good. Not gonna lie, feels real good. All right, I'm gonna throw this. Time for the Drifter. Let's go. We have another make disappear on top, which is Deece. Not revealing that. Kidding? I'm gonna slap, then draw it. All right, Kaito. Unchecked for a couple of turns, feeling good. Kaito's doing some work over here, and I like it. I like it a lot. Voron, Sexy Claxy. I'm gonna say no to that as well, opponent. Yeah, you have a reason to be upset with me here. I know I would be. Yeah, no need to show that off. I'm gonna show it off right here. Boom. And then I think we invade Amonkhet. Because that's good to do sometimes, I hear. It's gonna shuffle up the top of our deck a little bit. We're gonna draw that Toxrill, we're not gonna get it, on top, unfortunately. That'd be amazing, actually. Toxie is just good times. Okay. I could hit this real quick. You know what? I'm not gonna bother. My thought is if we flip it to something that the Drifter could work with, it could be really, really nice. I think it's better to just maintain the card advantage though. Just keep drawing good stuff. And we have an untapped land coming. That is great. I like that. I'm gonna keep going for the throw it up. We have the advantage on board. If they had a land, I want to crack in on Kaito. I want to be able to stop that. If they also, I mean, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 cards. Dire Strain, Rampage. Okay, yep. I'm worried about the Atraxa, of course, because that's usually what happens when the opponent ramps to the moon. So actually, them throwing the Dire Strain Rampage here is kind of a big fat whatever. I mean, it's gonna be time to kill that Stomper here in a second, but still. All right, tight. Go to draw discard action. Drop one of my Gorgers. No point in taking a look at that. Pop, pop. Lazotep Convert is going to be coming in. Actually, I could bring it in as a copy of Vorinclex. I don't have Forests in my deck, though, so that won't find anything. Actually, you know what? I'm going to grab a 4/4 Runo Stromkirk, and that is going to put the Fleshgorger on top of our deck. Cool. And then I'm just going to play a Toxrill. Seems good. All right. So next turn, we're going to have a Fleshgorging Drifter, and we're going to have a flipped Runo. So let's see what happens here. This is going to get interesting, I think. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Screw me for thinking I had a good thing going. All right, fair enough. Cool story, bro. All right. And you know what? I'm just going to rock out another ninja. All right. Just going to keep the ninjas. And we have a full price Gorger now, which is kind of nice. So Kaito's goal is to draw his cards. And doggone it, he's going to draw his cards. Titan. Yeah, at a time when I can't comfortably answer that, so good work. Not much I can do about it. Yeah, so the Gorger's going to pop him for 7, which is nice. Man, that farewell was bad. That farewell was real bad. Hurt big. Alright. Gonna pop for 1 because I can. Get that card. Amonkhet's not bad. I can work with that. Okay. So I can drop the 3/3 Gorger here. Well, let's see what we draw first. Another land. Tight. Yeah, sure. That is bound to happen a lot, it seems. Yeah, I'm gonna play the 3/3 Gorger. Because if they don't leave blockers back now, we're gonna be able to hit the Invasion of Amonkhet again. If they just have an Itali. Oh, but you know what? They only have one mana open. I don't even need a casualty here. Nope! Get that out of here. Oh, that felt good. That felt real good. Alright, so yeah, Titan's coming after Kaito. Sure. Oh, we just put Natalia in their graveyard. And they didn't leave enough blockers back. We're about to have some fun. So, 3 with Menace, 1 unblockable, all going after the Invasion of Amonkhet. I'm gonna have the Lazotep Convert come into play as a copy of their Itali. Let's get some spins. What do we got? Ossification, I do have a basic land. And my opponent does not have any viable cut down targets. So here we are. Yeah, that Titan, nom. I'm gonna go ahead and throw out the Drifter, because we can. It's a little overcommitting. I don't need to do that. I probably shouldn't, in fact. Now if they have another farewell, I'm gonna get like mega blown out. Alright. Klexi, you so sexy. Alright. So Sexy Klexi's in the mix. It's usually what I call Monstrous Raider, the one from Call Time, but I don't know. Kind of mix it up sometimes, I think. So the Drifter's the major threat. Drifter's the primary threat here. I don't know if they know that. Because if this Otherworldly Gaze spins into something like a Leveler, they're gonna get rocked. And I think they know that. Good, we got their ossification. That was fun. Speaking of, what's getting ossified? The unblockable token. Interesting. All right. Interesting choice, opponent. Fading Hope is very nice. It's way better than those lands. However, it's not really what I'm looking for. So, send them all away. What do we have next? That land is like, again, way not what we're looking for. So they are going to be sent away once more. And this time, do we want the Gorger or do we want the Toxie? Toxie Gorger, Toxie Gorger. I think I want Toxie because Vorinclex is only a 6/6. But I definitely want to tee them one after the other. That is fantastic. Let's reveal that. Boom, baby. And I think we just full send. Send them all. Everybody. Cool. So yeah. Vorinclex is chump blocking an airborne slug. Feels pretty good. And yeah, our Drifter survives. Nothing gets slimed, unfortunately, but that's okay. But their board is gone. Portal? Sure. It's pretty good. It's actually going to be completely devastating. Yep. Yeah, so I just play the Toxrill. Do what I can. Yeah, you grab a Tally. That's correct. And they're gonna get my Gorger. That I probably should have sacked Toxrill to draw cards, so they didn't do that. Vision's end cards are big fat, whatever. Yeah, I know this is mega bad. Actually, they're probably gonna win because they're running more big dumb 7-drops than I am. So here we are. Well, who knows? Who knows? We could hit some bombs off the top here and bring it around. That portal's a huge problem, and I don't have a clean answer to it. At this point, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with that. We do get to slime the squad, which is nice. Just kidding! I do have an answer to that. And it's really nice. It's a really nice answer to that. Nice, clean answer to that. Oh. Yeah. And we just sit back and let the slime roll on in. All right. I'm doing the typical Magic player thing where I complain, and then, like, hit the perfect thing off the top and bring it back around. So, I'm sorry. It's just what I do. I sure shouldn't, but I sure do. All right. So, Tainted Indulgence is going to be able to destroy my Cityscape Leveler, which kind of bites, but it's not the end of the world. Toxrill sticks around. Or are they gonna... What's under there? Titan. Pardon me. Pardon my language. Sorry. Titan is under there, and that is bad. It's way bad. Yeah, if they destroy the ossification, they get the other Titan back. That blows up the Leveler. Yep. Gross. Gross. Now, we can unearth the Leveler and swing it next turn and cause some havoc and mayhem. But... it's only a little bit of havoc and mayhem. It's not quite where I want to be. It's not as much havoc and mayhem as I would prefer. So let's see. Yeah, Gorger's going after the invasion. Atali is flying at my face. They might have some kind of burn, but honestly, I'd be surprised. So I'm willing to prevent the 7 damage. Toxrill triggers. We get a slug. They get their land dude, which is kind of whatever. Yeah. Brozend, well, I'll be gosh diggity darn danged. Yeah, well, alright. Gorger bites it, which is something, but not enough, I fear. Alrighty, Roo. And they're back up to 20 life. My goodness. Just gonna do what I can do. Doobie doo. Be doobie doo. Yeah, they're probably just gonna tank 8 rather than block with either of these. They could double block, but my thing's gonna die anyway, so that'd be kind of a waste of energy. We're down to 21 cards, they're down to 23. Stomper, get to stomping. Stomp, stomp, stomperoo. Yep. Just taking it, as one does. The attack Numa, doing things. We have a Vesuvan Drifter, which does nothing in the moment, but that's okay. I like my Vesuvan Drifters. I'm going to play with the Vesuvan Drifters. All right. I don't want to bounce any of their stuff because they all have ETBs. Now, granted, the Awakened Skyclave is just going to give a bunch of land. At this point, like, what's a couple more land? So, I will bounce that. And the Slug can jump 4 here. Yep. Invasion's back. Go get more lands. If you have any left, which it doesn't look like they do. All right. Hey, now we're talking. Sweet. That's exactly what I want to see. All right, cool. Going to combat. I'm going to reveal the crap out of that. Let's go. We got a swing. Popping that. Get it gone. Punch to the face. And then Tainted Indulgence. Just draw 2 cards and 2 Cityscape Levelers. 2 levelers. All right, that's gonna blow up the Stomper. One of the nice things about not drawing like my big bombs early on is that you get them later. So that game had a ton of back and forth, and somehow we managed to pull it out. That was awesome. So thank you so much for checking out this video. It means the world. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference. Let the algorithm know that this was a fun little journey, and yeah, and make sure that you see notifications for future videos. So I also want to give a huge thank you to the patrons that make this channel possible. And those patrons include, well, the lovely folks that you're seeing here on screen, and for as little as $1 a month, you, dear viewer, can actually join these fine folks. And I want to give a special shout out to the mythic patrons at the $10 level. That is Angry Jellyfish, Bunyip, Else89, Carl Ligon, Ryan, Veilreth, X of Most Trades, and Yuck Foozy. Now, you don't need to donate at that level to help the channel. Every little bit definitely counts and is most appreciated. Also, though, at the $10 level, you can send in deck lists and have me do deck techs like this one about your lists, and I will give you special shout-outs. We actually did one not too long ago that Bunyip sent in. So that was my double tap historic deck, if you want to check that out. Yeah, please do. But in the meantime, stay good to each other, have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one. 111.